So the inquest into the death of Jay Slater has started today in Preston, and it's had a few unusual details right at the start. The two people, Lucy and Brad, who were Jay's friends, cannot be found. The coroner has said that the police do want to speak to them in relation to Jay's death, but they cannot be found at the moment. The police are searching for them both. So the inquest started, but it has been halted as his sobbing mother has pleaded for answers over his death, the Daily Mail reports. The coroner launches bid to bring last people to see him alive to court. So this is getting stranger and stranger, and I have followed the Jay Slater case since he first went missing. There's videos on the channel with some stuff about Jay Slater, right up until the point his body was found. But with this inquest starting, it's opened up more cans of worms and actually some unanswered questions. So where is Lucy and where is Brad, and why aren't they forthcoming working with the police and the coroner with regards to this? Is there more to this case that meets the eye? And that's been my belief for quite a while now when it comes to this case. What the coroner has stated today, Jay was found with 3 types of drugs in his body when his body was discovered. Cocaine, ecstasy and ketamine were the 3 drugs found in his body. What I'm going to do, I'm going to share in the Daily Mail article, and this explains a little bit more from day 1 of the inquest. So let me share that in now, and then at the end you can let me know your thoughts on this. Do you feel there is more questions that need answering? I've always had my suspicions with regards to this case. I don't think when his body was found it was because of an accident. I think there's a lot more to this. Anyway, let's share in the Daily Mail article. Okay, here we are. This is the article that has been released by the Daily Mail a few hours ago. So it's saying here the Jay Slater inquest is halted as his sobbing mother pleads for answers over the death, and coroner launches bid to bring the last people to see him alive. That is Lucy and Brad, what we just spoke about. So it's saying here the inquest into the death of Jay Slater was halted today when his mother Debbie hit out after 2 British men who rented an Airbnb he went back to failed to attend. The 19-year-old from Lancashire disappeared in Tenerife last summer, sparking a major manhunt before he was found dead a month later. Mr. Slater was on holiday on the island and had been to the NRG Music Festival with friends at the Papagayo nightclub in Playa de las Americas on June 16th last year. Earlier the next day, Mr. Slater is thought to have gone to the Airbnb with other people he had met while on holiday, then vanished and was reported missing on June the 18th. His body was found in a steep and inaccessible area by a mountain rescue team from the Spanish Civil Guard near the village of Masca on July 15th, 2024. And an inquest at Preston's Coroner's Court today heard he was found to have drugs in his system. The hearing was also told extensive efforts, including summonses, had been issued for several witnesses who were in contact with Mr. Slater before he disappeared. But Mr. Slater's mother, Debbie Duncan, 55, today made an emotional outburst after the 2 British men who rented the Airbnb, convicted drug dealer Ayab Kwasam, who is 31, and Stephen Rockers, previously known as Rocky, did not attend the hearing. She told Lancashire Senior Coroner Dr. James Aidley, "How can we ever get any understanding? We know he died. He had an accident." So the article continues, sobbing, she added, "There's things that we want to question. We want these people to be sat in front of us. Something went wrong that day. He didn't come back. There's questions we need to ask, please." The coroner agreed to pause proceedings so she could compose herself. He later adjourned it altogether so his staff could make further efforts to find Mr. Quasim and Mr. Rockers, but warned the family he was not confident of success. Dr. Audley told Mr. Slater's family, "You've heard of our difficulties in finding Ayub Qasim and Steve Rockers. However, in view of your distress, we will make an effort to find them." The coroner said those of Mr. Slater's friends who are currently abroad would be provided with new summonses to attend the resumed hearing. He asked the family to pass his office any contact details which they had for them, and the hearing would reconvene at a date to be fixed. Earlier, the inquest was told Mr. Slater had traces of cocaine, ecstasy, and ketamine in his body when he was found dead, and had been off his head on drugs. The hearing was also told that his friends had failed to attend to give their accounts. Lucy Law, who received a call from Jay saying he was lost, had 1% charge on his phone and needed water, is among those who could not be traced to give evidence, the Courier revealed. As proceedings begun, Dr. Aubrey said police had failed in attempts to contact Mr. Law and several of Mr. Slater's other British friends. We can't find them. They have stopped responding to the phone calls, he said, while Mr. Slater's parents, Ms. Duncan and father Warren Slater, 58, listened in silence. Dr. Aubrey also told the court, when drugs are involved in a death, the witnesses are less than forthcoming and do not wish to speak to authorities. The inquest also heard his severe skull and pelvis fractures were consistent with a fall from height and that the traces of cocaine, ecstasy and ketamine were in his body. And a friend said Mr. Slater seemed to be off his head on drugs the night before his death. It continued, the apprentice bricklayer was last seen alive leaving the whitewashed house in Masca around 7:30 a.m. on June the 17th. He was apparently trying to walk the 10-hour journey back to the apartment where he was staying after missing a bus back. An immediate focus on the investigation was a post Mr. Slater uploaded on Snapchat of him having a cigarette with the location tagged at the door of the apartment at 7:30 a.m. UK time. Then 2 phone calls emerged. Miss Law, who later attended Mr. Slater's funeral in August, received a call at 8:30 a.m. where he said he was lost, had 1% charge on his phone and needed water. In a video call to the other friend, Brad Hargreaves, Mr. Slater was walking on rough, stony ground, saying he was making the long walk back. His mother and father joined family and friends to comb the island of sightings. As the mystery surrounding the teen's disappearance grew, violent stress and conspiracy theories began to emerge that dogged efforts to find Mr. Slater. Among the rumours circulating including claims Mr. Slater had been targeted by a criminal cartel on the island for allegedly stealing a watch from a gang member, something his family denied happening. Tragically, Mr. Slater's body was found a month later in the mountainous area of the island. He is believed to have lost his footing and fallen while desperately trying to climb through the ravine to try and return to the hotel. The post-mortem found that he died of traumatic head injuries consistent with a fall from height. His death would have been instantaneous. So there we are. That's some information from day one of the hearing. It shocks me that his friends aren't forthcoming with supporting this. Where is Lucy? Where is Brad? Forget the other 2 people who police are trying to speak to and trying to find. Where are his friends and why aren't they being forthcoming with this hearing? Anyway, let me know your thoughts on this tragic case. Do you feel there's more to this that meets the eye? I'm going to be following this inquest as it goes on for the next couple of weeks or however long it takes to see what other information does come out. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. See you very soon.